here is your text recopied as it is. Hello there. The world is changing. The US dollar has dominated the global economy for decades, but now a powerful alliance is challenging that supremacy. BRICS, an economic bloc made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is on a mission to move away from the dollar. And guess who isn't happy about it? Donald Trump. With the 2024 US presidential election on the horizon, Trump has made it clear the rise of BRICS and the shift away from the dollar are serious threats to America's global power. But the real question is it too late to stop de-dollarization? Why Trump is worried about BRICS? We have to stop China, Russia, and all these countries from taking advantage of us. We built this economy, we built the global system, and we're not going to let them destroy it. Trump has always pushed an America First policy, focusing on economic nationalism. During his presidency, he waged trade wars, imposed tariffs, and sanctioned countries that he saw as threats to U.S. dominance. But now, BRICS is taking steps that could fundamentally weaken America's hold on the global economy. For decades, the U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency. Most countries use the dollar for trade, oil purchases, and international transactions. This gives the U.S. a massive advantage. It can print money without fear of losing value, impose sanctions on enemies, and control the global financial system. But BRICS wants to change that. They are now pushing for trade in local currencies, bypassing the dollar completely. Trump sees this as a direct attack on American power. The rise of BRICS and its push against the dollar. The BRICS nations represent more than 40% of the world's population and about 32% of global GDP. Individually, they are economic powerhouses, but together, they form a serious challenge to U.S. financial dominance. Over the last few years, BRICS has taken major steps toward reducing reliance on the dollar. Here's how. Trade in local currencies. Russia and China are now settling oil and gas deals in yuan instead of dollars. India and the UAE recently made a bilateral agreement to trade in rupees. Brazil has started settling trade deals with China directly in yuan, bypassing the U.S. financial system. Alternative financial systems. China has developed CIS, cross-border interbank payment system, as a rival to SWIFT, which is dominated by the U.S. Russia has created its own banking system to avoid Western sanctions. The BRICS New Development Bank, NDB, is now offering loans without relying on the IMF or World Bank, reducing Western control over global finance. The BRICS Currency Plan. Some BRICS leaders, especially Russia, have proposed a common currency backed by gold and commodities. This would be a direct attack on the petrodollar system, which forces countries to use dollars for oil transactions. If this succeeds, demand for U.S. dollars could drop sharply, weakening the U.S. economy. These moves have put Washington on edge. Trump and many other U.S. politicians see this as a declaration of economic war. But the real question is, can the U.S. actually stop it? Trump's plan to fight BRICS and protect the dollar. Trump is known for his aggressive approach to international economics. If he returns to the White House, he has already signaled that he will take a hard stance against BRICS and their anti-dollar policies. Here's what Trump might do. Economic sanctions on BRICS nations. The U.S. could sanction countries that refuse to trade in dollars, punishing them with trade restrictions and financial penalties. Similar to what the U.S. did to Iran and Russia, Trump could cut off BRICS members from the global banking system. But would this work? With China and Russia leading BRICS, many countries are already finding ways around U.S. sanctions. Higher tariffs and trade wars. Trump has repeatedly threatened to raise tariffs on Chinese goods, which could start another trade war. He might also target Brazil and India, two key BRICS members, with tougher trade policies. But here's the issue. BRICS doesn't just rely on the U.S. anymore. They have their own trade networks. Punishing them with tariffs might only push them further away from the dollar. Strengthening the U.S. dollar's role. Trump could pressure allies like Europe, Japan, and Australia to keep using the dollar in trade. The U.S. could also work on global agreements to force oil and commodities to stay priced in dollars, maintaining its power. However, many U.S. allies are also exploring alternatives, which weakens Washington's grip. Will de-dollarization succeed? BRICS nations face challenges in their attempt to move away from the dollar. A single BRICS currency is still years away, and internal differences between BRICS nations make it difficult to create a united front. The future of global currency supremacy. The future of global currency supremacy is uncertain, and the outcome of the battle between the US and BRICS Plus will depend on several factors. One of the key challenges facing the BRICS Plus countries is the lack of a unified approach to creating a global alternative to the dollar. While countries like China and Russia are actively promoting their own currencies, the diversity of the BRICS Plus group presents significant obstacles to creating a single, cohesive currency system. Nevertheless, the growing momentum behind the de-dollarization movement suggests that the US dollar's dominance may be under threat. If BRICS Plus continues to expand and its efforts to promote alternative currencies gain traction, the US could face a more multipolar financial system in the future. This shift could reduce the influence of the dollar in global trade and investment, which would have significant implications for the US economy. Moreover, the increasing use of digital currencies and blockchain technology could further disrupt the traditional financial system. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, like China's digital yuan, could become powerful tools in the battle for currency supremacy, offering countries an alternative to the dollar-based system. The U.S. Federal Reserve is already exploring the potential for a digital dollar, which could help maintain the dollar's dominance in a rapidly changing global economy. Conclusion. The battle for global currency supremacy between Trump and BRICS Plus is not just an economic rivalry. It is a struggle for control over the future of the global financial system. While the US dollar has long been the dominant global currency, the rise of BRICS Plus and their efforts to reduce dependence on the dollar are challenging the established order. China and Russia, in particular, have taken aggressive steps to promote their own currencies and create alternatives to the US-dominated financial infrastructure. At the same time, Trump's America First policies have intensified the push for de-dollarization as countries seek greater financial independence from US sanctions and influence. The outcome of this battle will shape the global economy for years to come, with profound implications for the future of international trade, investment, and geopolitics. The US dollar may still hold significant power, but the rise of BRICS Plus marks the beginning of a new era in global finance, one in which the dominance of the dollar is increasingly called into question. For example, India and China are geopolitical rivals. Brazil and South Africa rely heavily on Western markets. Russia is under heavy Western sanctions, making it difficult to expand trade outside of China. Despite these obstacles, de-dollarization is still gaining momentum. Even U.S. allies like Saudi Arabia are considering trading oil in Chinese yuan instead of dollars. In the long run, the global economy may move toward a multipolar currency system where multiple major currencies, not just the dollar, are used in trade and finance. Final thoughts. Is it too late for the U.S. to stop this? Trump and other U.S. leaders are trying to slow down de-dollarization, but they cannot stop the shift entirely. The global financial system is evolving, and BRICS is taking advantage of the cracks in U.S. economic dominance. The real question is, will the U.S. adapt to this new reality, or will it fight desperately to maintain the dollar's supremacy at all costs? One thing is certain, the global economy will never be the same again. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe for more global economic updates, and let us know in the comments. Do you think BRICS can succeed in dethroning the US dollar?